Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. I believe this is episode 5. Not sure how I've edited things together. Pretty sure it's episode 5. And we got a lot of stuff done. I've let the game run a couple of months. Well, through the winter anyway. I let it run through the winter. And I wanted to show you kind of what we're up to right now. Lots of gravel roads have been getting done. Pretty happy about that. Most of the walking paths are done. We started getting the final stages over here. Getting all those extra bulldozers has been really helpful in getting a lot of these roads done. And I'm trying to think back to like when we were building our residential areas in the last series, how upgrading to asphalt roads was kind of a pain in the butt. But that was because our pedestrians were relying on the roads to walk around instead of walking paths. And so I think here it's going to be a little easier to upgrade. Obviously, all of the main two roads, anywhere you see this, I've said it a couple times, but I want people to know, anywhere you see two roads right next to each other, eventually that is going to be asphalt roads that are one direction. These are all going to be one-way streets eventually. Yeah, so basically four lanes of traffic. Anyway, so we got a lot of stuff done here. I would like to start laying out the plans for asphalt. So I've already done that, actually. Sorry. The plans for asphalt are here. And essentially it just comes off of the same gravel storage as giant 5,000 tons of gravel storage here. And it'll just pop it in. I was going to put concrete here too, but it got me thinking, last time I want helicopter construction. I mean, eventually we are going to have helicopter construction. And last time it was a real bottleneck having all these helicopters trying to grab concrete especially, but asphalt as well. And so I'm thinking, we're going to leave these things spaced out so that I'm able to get the helipads in. And I'm thinking it's going to be probably right about here. And come to find out, you don't need research to construct things with helicopters. You don't need research to place the heliports next to asphalt. You don't need it to place it next to concrete, I assume, either, because it'll let me do that. But you do need it in order to place it next to hospitals and fire departments, which, I don't know, I feel like that's a little bit weird. But I guess maybe you need research for people moving and not for resource moving. I would think it would be the other way around, personally, but it is what it is. So anyway, to have heliports here, the plan is to put it right here, but unfortunately I can't do that because I need research for that first. Same thing with the fire department. So they'll be highlighted, but they're red, telling me I can't do it because of research. So there we go. That's the plan, though, to put the helicopters there. In the meantime, I've been building things up. They got one brick flat done, so that's pretty cool. And there's going to be mixed waste. So today, what we're going to focus on is all the detail stuff for getting people moved into our republic. We still have, I believe in my stream series, we brought people in 65, I think it was. I think it was 1965. I'm thinking we might be able to get 64 here. I'd like to get a little bit faster than we did before. So we're going to get all this stuff built before we move people in. But you need everything that people need has to be in place and ready to go before you bring people in. Otherwise, they will starve. They will get too cold. They will get too cranky. They will not be loyal. They will leave you. They will die. Health problems, all sorts of stuff. So we need a lot of this stuff in place already. So let's start talking about that. We got food. That's going to be here. We're going to get things transmitted in, right? We're going to get distribution offices soon for that. We got, shelter. That's going to happen here. But we need water. We need sewage. We need heat, right? We talked about heat briefly. They have a big heat exchanger here that can reach everything in this area, okay? I've added some things since the last video. I've got the Palace of Communism going in right here next to the Technical University. They need culture, right? Got the Palace of Sports Dynamo here. I like this building a lot. And this one's going to be a place for people to have sports. They can also use this during the winter, which is nice. We're also going to have this new sports hall right here. It says Mormorsk. We're going to change the name of all these cities into. So in this video, I'd love if you guys gave me some names for cities. But my first city name is almost always CHARLYBINSK. And so we're going to say CHARLYBINSK is this city here. But as we expand out, I would love ideas for names for cities in the future. So if there's ever a video in the future, do it on the other videos. But if there's ever a video where I'm like, hey, we need a name for this city, let me know in the comments. Be sure to leave that comment so that maybe your name will be considered. I don't know. Not your name, but, the name that you recommended. You get it. Anyway, so let's take a look at heat first since it's almost done anyway. The heating plant is 35% constructed, which is pretty nice. We also have some waste here, and this is one of the big container dumps. So we have a big garbage container, and I'm not entirely sure this needs this because I don't think this is industry, right? So I actually think this is the wrong one. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place another one of the other type in here instead. And we're going to have two in here because I think this one is this is the big garbage containers, and this one is the small garbage containers. There's a difference between these two things. I believe this is the right one you need. So kind of hoping that it is. So just for the sake of it, I'm going to remove that road really quick. Just let that be there. And then this will be where the garbage comes in for this, okay? To get more more travel and stuff going through here, I can probably get to asphalt roads with signs. So anyway, I was saying, hey, upgrading roads was kind of a pain in the butt before. So why don't I upgrade some of the roads now before people get here, and maybe that will be cool. I don't know. You can see that a lot of these buildings have road connections, but we don't actually have them connected to the road. The way this game works generally is if you don't need resources delivered or picked up from that location, then you don't need a road connection. Walking paths are fine. And so these buildings here, this is a residential hall, it's done. It has a road connector in the front, but we don't technically need to use this. We can just get by with the fact that it has a walking path connection here. The benefit, though, of using this side comes where there isn't any walking paths in the front. And in this case, there is. But if there wasn't any walking paths in the front, I'm just going to go ahead and do this really quick. If there wasn't any walking paths in the front, then, you could get access and your people can walk out this door and go out there, right? So some of these places may not have walking paths everywhere you want them to be. And having walking paths kind of coming out the front of the buildings is going to, I think, be better off in the future because it's going to allow them to get to places over here, like the new bus platform. So this is an interesting bus platform. Let's see if I can find the right one here. We have like new buildings, right? So I wanted to take a look at them. So I believe this one is this one. Yes. So this is interesting because there's two entrances and / exits. Love that. And I'm going to use one of them. It's going to be a one-way street. We're going to have buses coming in one side, out the other. This is the way all bus stations should freaking be. Somebody decided to make a 2,000 worker bus station with a single way in and out. I don't understand you. Okay? The person that decided to do this, I don't understand you. Whoever made this station and decided not to put an entrance on the other side, I don't understand you. We also have a bus station going in right over here. This is where we're going to deliver people to all their workspaces. So I've kind of been trying to space things out and where everybody's going to be. And if I look at the tool for measurement here, we should see that from this bus station, like around here, so in a straight line, they can walk up to 400 meters. Usually about 380 is a nice safety zone. And so you can see they're going to be able to get to rail construction yard over here, and they're going to be able to get to any building we put over here all the way up to about this point. So anything we put in this area, they're going to be able to work there too, which is pretty good because we're going to put concrete right here. So that's going to work out really well. We can also have people working, of course, over in this area and kind of over in this area. And I was thinking about, speaking of this area, I was thinking, we don't need to wait until we have access to all of those resources over there to start making our own fuel. Right, that's one of the things we did last time. I was like, I want to make fuel in a very specific spot, and I want to do it in a dedicated town over here. And that was a good idea, I think, but it just took so long to get there, and our fuel consumption was just draining our budget so fast. I don't want to do that this time. So here's what I'm going to do. We're actually going to amend this little setup here, for which we have plenty of vehicles now. taking all the oil. During the winter, we actually pool up a resource and fill this tank because everybody's moving slower. I'm not bothering with plowing right now. So everybody's moving slower. But then in the spring, summer, all the way through the fall, we end up slowly draining this tank, I think, to the point where it's nearly empty. So I think this is going to be a really good sort of flow. I believe this route that these guys are on has 8 vehicles. Now 9 vehicles. 9 of these cisterns going back and forth, loading up at this point and sending it off to the border. And as a result, you can see our import exports. We've almost balanced the damn budget on imports and exports. Now, obviously, we have vehicle imports. I purchased those. We also have foreign manpower. That's a big thing. That's happening too. So there's always going to be those things. So our money is still going down a little bit. But I've somewhat balanced the budget by having these vehicles able to constantly move to sell oil at the border. And that's something I'm addressing much quicker this time than last time. And the cool thing about this is I don't have to worry about sucking down too much oil this time compared to last time because we're not powering anything with oil. Yeah, we're not. So anyway, I think I'm going to set up a refinery process right over here, which is interesting because I got this underground pipe going through here. But if I set up the refinery process here, the oil refinery right over here, if I take a look at the map, the wind, if you will, is going to be blowing about that direction. So it's not directly over the city. So that's a good sign. But we're probably going to have people living over here too. The important thing, though, is that this building we're about to place here is going to pollute heaviest. It's probably one of the heaviest, if not one of the heaviest, if not the heaviest polluter in the game. So you want to have this way far away from where people are living. Now, of course, this city is at its peak. We're not going to have any more homes this side of this, but all the homes are going to work its way out towards the water, right? And so I'm thinking at this point, we could probably get our oil refinery right here. And if I take the tool for measurement and I go from like the closest house, so it's probably going to be about this one, I would think. If I take it from the closest house and we just have this point and we come all the way over and we see how far away this is, we're looking at over 800 meters away. And if I really sink it back and make it sit right here, then, you know, we're looking at over 900 meters away. I gotta believe that that is a safe distance so people don't get sick from this. So we're gonna look to do that. And if I could get them all on this bus stop, I would, but that's just too far away for this bus stop. So if I'm gonna bring them in on this bus stop, for example, we would go about like this. That's just way too far away, right? So there's no way I can get people to move 700 meters in that direction. That's surprising that that's 700 meters away. It's pretty good. Anyway, so we're definitely going to want another bus stop so people can walk in here. So I'm thinking probably it doesn't have to be a very big bus stop. It could be a pretty small one, actually. These platforms, I don't like these. They just stop traffic too much. So I think we're going to just do for now a little freebie bus stop right over here. Should be fine enough. We'll place it right about here. That should be good. And then people will, use this. We'll have them come in on one side, out the other, or whatever. It doesn't really matter how they do it, but that's where they're going to come in for oil refining. Now, of course, I can't do anything with oil refining yet because I need research in order to unlock that building. That's where the technical university is going to help us. But there's really no reason to build this and let the wear and tear on this expensive building start until we have a lot of other things. So now that we have some of these buildings erect, right, some of these are done, the wear and tear is going to start on them. I don't know if it's accelerated by people being there or not, but I feel like just being there and having weather and the environment affecting, I feel like that is enough. I guess I never submitted that walking path. I feel like that's enough to start the wear and tear process on that. So we're likely not going to even the construction offices get wear and tear, man. So yeah, definitely need to get this stuff going. Now that we have this going, I need more construction. So I'm thinking like maybe we get this construction office done and we start loading this up with vehicles too. This one, as far as mechanisms go, we've got a lot of dump trucks. We've got a lot of open haul trucks, probably too many, but I don't see too many of them sitting around doing nothing. We have less bulldozers than I had before here, because I needed to make room for this tower crane, and I wanted to make room for asphalt pavers and for the roller, because we didn't need any asphalt pavers and rollers. However, now that I'm making factory connections, that becomes a thing, because they're going to be needed for these things. At least I want one, all right? At least one to help out with that. We also have a forklift garage. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and grab, let's say 2 forklifts here should be okay for the time being. And then I want to have my fuel rats. Unfortunately, got to come all the way back over here for now. I can't wait until we have a local source of fuel. That's going to be so much better. I want my fuel rats to come all the way over and make sure that you're managing this building so that it has fuel. Okay, then. So once this building gets built and we have, you know, sort of the warehouse and we have everything that they can... We don't need to stock this completely full. We're just looking to have this building... and honestly, this store... This might be too big. If I'm looking at it, I'm thinking maybe we have too big of a store here. Because the thing is, like, is this going to be able to reach the bus stop, right? I think so. These guys can walk to here. I think this is close enough. Just as a... If I was to go this way with it, right? Is this going to be close enough? 218. Yeah. You guys will totally be able to get there. So this is ground distance 316. So in other words, I think this store is actually fine. What we can do is we can make sure that when we set up another neighborhood over here, right, they might take the bus to this, and then they might be able to walk. I can also place houses here too. We can probably flatten this out or just build them up on top of the hill. This is a pretty steep hill now. I have been kind of messing with that to make it more favorable for me, and unfortunately I did go a little bit wide with this road, so I don't think I'm going to be able to lower this, but if I make everything maybe level with this part, that'll be okay. So it's a little bit of a steep hill now, and I don't think we can actually get the road up there now without some sort of leveling going on. It used to be pretty easy to do, but now it's just too steep to get up there, so we'll see. Let me just real quick go in and see about making this terrain height. Sometimes I can pull it away from the road enough to get it where I want it. It looks like it's going to work. Yeah, so right about over here now. As we lower the part that's farther away, we really reduce that curve. And I think we're going to be okay. So I'd like to, you know, lower this down a little bit so I can use it. Look at all those bulldozers, man. I'm just saying... It's been real nice having bulldozers. I'm just saying. We're able to shape the ground real fast compared to before. It's been a wonderful experience thus far. And it looks like I was able to get all that land level near that road. Perfect. So we are going to be able to keep expanding this as it goes. I would like to just terrain smooth over here, though. Just kind of... I don't want this to be a cliff. I want to be able to use this area. There we go. So this is a little bit better. So this is shaping up all right, huh? Much more... Yeah, we could definitely keep going with that. With all the bulldozers we have. It's wild. Excavators, right? You need it to dig into the ground. I thought, yeah, but turns out the bulldozers will do it too. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm basically just letting it run at the moment. That's kind of been what the game has been. I don't really think there's a reason to plan anything else at this time. The only things I can think of to plan are the sewage system and the water system and making sure that the heat's going. So let's just do that because I got distracted earlier. So this heating pipe, I'm going to go underground view. This heating pipe is going to come in a straight line, as straight as possible anyway, over to the heating plant. And I'm going to put this... I'm thinking this heating plant's going to have to go that way more with another one, so I don't want to get too crazy here, but these workplaces are going to need heat as well. So how about we place it to this one here? So this one's right in the middle. I like that. And it's going to send heat over to this without the need for an additional pump. Very good. All right, so we'll get that construction started too. Now, I've also got 2 technical services buildings, all right? These 2 buildings are dedicated exclusively to waste management. One of these is going to have the garbage trucks that goes to the small containers. One of these is going to have garbage trucks that go to large containers. And if there is any extra spaces, because we don't need that many trucks initially, but if there's any extra spaces, especially with the big container one, then I will fill the remaining space with snow plows. So they're not going to be to waste. But we've got like this little cul-de-sac, this little separate area here where these guys can come in and out and move around where they need to go. And it's between two roundabouts, so they can get pretty much wherever they want to go very quickly on their way to anywhere they want to go. Yeah, there you go. Anywhere they want to go. Okay, so I've pretty much introduced you to everything that needs to happen here. I do want to let this run a little bit longer, get most of the stuff built. I guess the only thing left to do before I really truly let this run and just like cut the video is water and stuff. So let's just do water and stuff. I've got a sewage tank here and a water substation here. They are covering a good portion, but not every building, right? So they're going to be able to cover a lot, but they still have stuff over here. And that's okay. That's by design because I'm going to expand this way. I'd like to position these things over where they're going to be able to cover these buildings a little bit better. However, there's not really a downside per se to having these little substations are really, really small, right? So there's not really a downside to putting it, say, for example, in the middle of this little cul-de-sac here, or this little roundabout here. So if I was to place this in this little area here, that's not going to be a big deal, I don't think. So let's put this maybe right here. And that will cover, should anyway be covering the fire department too, yes. All right, I just want to make sure it gets that sports complex. So right there, I think, is where we want this. And then I'll make a dirt walking path to that connection point. And that's going to be essentially our water coverage for the entire area for now. Now, of course, our areas over here, our workspaces, need to have this coverage as well. So some of these buildings require water hookups, okay? Anywhere people are, you need water hookups. And so I'm looking to do utilities last. I think it's a good thing to do utilities last so you know where every building is, and so you can precisely position these buildings where you need them to cover all of the workspaces. So no workers over here, so it's just these. And technically every single thing is covered by this spot right here. So I'm going to go this way with this pipe. Come all the way over here. Right about this point here, I think is good. I need to make sure that the walking path is facing the right direction, though. So let's go like that. Because you can't just build it with rubles in this mode, right? They have to actually be able to get to it. So that means the walking path is a functional thing. And we'll go right about there with it. That's fine. For sewage, kind of the same thing. We're going to need to do the sewage. Now, sewage has a different consideration. Sewage has an elevation consideration as well. It's important to know where we're sending all the sewage. And in this case, I think we're going to dump it over here. So why don't we just go ahead and place a switch. I'm going to use switches a lot now. We're going to take a switch and we're going to make this. I think probably the switch should go up here. Let's place a switch. Where's the elevation? Let me see. Right. Let's see, right here. So right here we're at 17.8. That's pretty high up. I'd like to get lower. Man, oh man. 17 is like the highest possible point. So this is the worst position for a switch. You definitely don't want to switch there. So we need to bring this lower for sure. Let's go down to like below 10. I'm going to place a switch maybe over here like this. Now, it's possible I would want to build things over in this area, but we're just going to have to navigate around that problem later on. Let's go ahead and get the sewage discharge positioned, and this is going to be facing this direction, and I'm going to place this over here. We're just going to discharge all of our sewage over into this water. And, of course, we need a somewhat flat area here. I'm pretty sure my excavators are out of range, so got to hope that there's at least one little point here that I can at least get yellow out of this. Nothing? It's these rounded lakes, man. All right, I might need to move my excavators and stuff over here to make this flat. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I'll have to move, but we'll see. Terrain from center. Ooh, I don't have to. Very cool. All right, so this gives me a flatter edge to work with right here. They're so fast that I can't. They're so fast. Okay, so give me a little bit flatter edge here, and discharge goes like Wow, I still couldn't get it flat enough right there. It's hard to hit it, but we're going to get it right there. All right, let's make sure that this walking path is possible to go up. Yep, right this. Okay, so we want this walking path to go as close to, you know, the roads and stuff as possible. So I think we'll have this go out like this and then over and connect up. Maybe let's go this side. We'll go over here like this and then that. And then the switch needs to be connected like that. Okay, this is where all of our poop's going. Okay, so we're going to say we want a big tank, a big pipe. And this big pipe is going to go, I think we'll make it from this side. So we'll say that this connection here is going to go all the way to the switch right there. Okay, so that is for the end point. Now we need to get other sewage tanks and stuff routed over to here. Now, sewage is different than water. Water needs pressure to move. Whether it's going uphill or downhill, you need to provide water pressure. That means pumps. However, sewage does not require pressure and pumps as long as it is flowing downhill. So when you place sewage pipe tanks, you just have to make sure that wherever you're placing the sewage tank, you're placing it at a higher elevation than its destination. As long as you do that, you don't need pumps. Otherwise, you need to have these sewage pumps, and they drop down from 5 meters, 10 meters, and 15 meters down in order to get up to the pump to be downhill. So these pumps basically only take it from low and bring it up higher and then drop it down and let it flow downhill again. To where these pumps actually create water pressure and push it to its destination. So we're going to use a lot of these pumps, and we're going to try to set up our sewage system hopefully to where we don't need to use any of these pumps, because I don't want to have to use resources if I don't have to. So to figure that out, we need to get our elevation tool up here, tool for measurement, and we know that this spot right here, we know that this location is currently at 16.43 meters. So if I have another switch, and I think probably right around this area here is going to be a good spot for it because it's around 14 meters high. 14.2. So right about, we don't want to get in the way of the heat either. So I'm thinking we maybe bring this to about here. 14.4845. Let's put a switch right here if we can. Just double checking the other places over here too. So all of this is higher than 14 point something, right? Well, close. If I can get a location over here that is lower than 14 meters high, then I'm golden. But I might need to just lower it. I could do that too. That's possible. We could lower the terrain. That's not out of the question. First off, we're gonna need power over here too, aren't we? I totally forgot about power. Shit, because this is not a walking path thing. We're gonna have to be on the road here for this. You have, God, I would love to have you. We're not gonna be able to cover every building. No, we're not gonna be able to cover every building. So 2 of these are gonna be the design. We're gonna put one right here. One right here next to the technical university, and the other one's gonna be over here. That should cover every building we have currently. I'll have to figure out where to send the power there. And these 2 are not going to be enough, too, because they're going to get overloaded eventually. So you're going to want redundancy. You're going to want extra connections as well. But I just wanted to make sure everything is covered initially. So we'll probably put another one right here. This is especially true if you're not using the full power poles. So if we're going underground, as I probably will do with several of these, then you can really clean things up in your city doing that. But you can't get full capacity on your lines doing that. So as we go underground for a lot of this stuff, it is going to be pretty important to have a lot of extra ones, a lot of extra connections and things like that. So all of these have road connections. So hopefully these will get built soon. Power is still a very important thing, isn't it? So sewage. Let's keep going with sewage. So I want to get a sewage switch right over in this area, I think, is a good spot for it. Maybe over here. I could lower the terrain here. That would really help. So that I don't have to have a pump. So if I was to just go kind of like this, Let's get our measurement tool out so we can see where this is. Yeah, so kind of like this. So it looks like this land right now is now 11 meters. This is really good. So that's about what I wanted. Just a little dip here is all I really need. Just a little dip in the land, and then I can place a switch in here. Okay, as long as it's got a connection. So right about, let's get the lowest point just because we can. Keep this open, please. Just keep it open. Okay. We want to go like this. So this is 11.8. It's like 11.8 is where we're going to be. 8.5. I saw 8.5. 8.5 right here. That's where we want this to be, right? That's our lowest point for this. And we can just do this with a dirt one straight up to there. No big deal. Okay. So that's where sewage pump or sewage switch. So now we can take our pipes, which I think for this area, with this thing covering almost everything, I mean, I could do a medium one just to make sure, but I don't think it'll be necessary. But as we expand out this way, I'm thinking this is going to cover that too. If I take a look at the sewage tank, they can cover buildings up to how far away? Looks like 300 meters. 250, 250, 273, 280, 301, 310. It's about 320 meters away. Okay, so if that's the case, then this build... Okay, seriously, can we get this tool to just stay on the screen? Show measurement properties. Is there a way to make this stay? Like forever? I just put it right here the whole time. I mean, it's pinned already, so I just don't want it to go away. So if I'm going to measure things, okay, we're going to say this sewage tank, the sewage tank is right here. So if from there, about 320 meters away. So as we expand to things around here, this sewage pipe, the sewage tank is still going to cover this. And any building we place over on this side, it's still going to cover that too. So we have a pretty decent coverage potential here on that one. I don't think we're going to have anything super dense. As these buildings become kind of like outdated, I might go ahead and replace them, but honestly, I think I'm probably okay here with a small one. I'm gonna go with a small one here because it saves me resources, and I want to save resources. So this is the destination. So we're gonna say that you come out this way, and you come all the way over to this switch right there. And we don't want to do it like that. We want to do it like this. Use less resources. So that's going to flow downhill all the way to this point. Now, from here, since it's 11, right, you're going to want to get to that one. Well, this one over here, did it close again? Sure did. I must have closed it. Like, I must be the one doing this impulsively. I don't know. I need to stop doing this. Where is it? Right here. So this from here all the way over to the other switch, which is located... Where's that other switch? Right over here. So this is 9. Aha, very good. All right, as long as this from switch to switch is lower, we won't need any pumps. Love it. So let's go ahead and have a medium pipe from here, and we're gonna send this medium pipe out. Hang on, send medium pipe out. Now I say this requires proper slope because where I am now, I did it again, didn't I? Where I am now is higher elevation. So just because it's red here, don't think that you're screwed and it won't work. Until you get to parts where it's lower than the destination, then it will flip green, okay? So you just need to make sure that your destinations are always like that. So we're going to pump this, I think, right to this part here. I think that one. Yes. That's where we're going. So we're going to send it from a small one in the residential area over to a medium pipe that sends it all the way down to here, to a large pipe that sends it all the way down to here. And that gives us the ability to tack on like 3 small ones onto this, still flow for medium, tack in a few mediums here, and we can really just send it all down, and it's only one connector. So we have 2 extra connectors later on that we can use. I don't think we're going to have a ton... I'm actually tempted. Okay, so I'm tempted to make another city here. Okay, I'm thinking about this. I'm tempted to make another city here. It's possible. It's very possible. Just to keep it to where I am Yeah, I need to make sure I'm not screwing myself here. I'm going to go right in the center. I think it's safer to go right in the center here. Okay. And then if I do make another town, I have connections on this side. So that's going to take care of sewage, at least for most things. It's not going to take care of all sewage, but it'll take care of most of it. So we have this tank here, right there. It doesn't cover the hospital and stuff. So we want to have coverage on the hospital too. Same thing as before. Figure out how high up we are. So I'm a doofus. I just can't stop impulsively closing windows. We're going to go over to sewage tank, and let's see. So we're at 15 point whatever, as long as we're above 11, all right? So I think unless we're going to put it over here, at this point it becomes a problem because that is lower than that. But we can always dump it in that water. All of our drinking water and stuff is going to be originating from wells in the ground, not these water supplies. So we're always going to use wells for this. They're much more, they're able to expand. They're able to cater to way more people in a very small amount of space. It only takes 7 workers for a big well. The downside is it takes workers, right? So there's a drawback to it, and it takes workers. But ultimately, I find wells are significantly better than the inflow pumps on the water. So I probably should plan my city expansion so that I know where this stuff is going to go. Gosh, we're already 36 minutes into this video, man. I mean, we're already 36 minutes in. It's nuts. Absolutely crazy. Substation. So I put the water here, didn't I? So maybe sewage could go somewhere nearby. Maybe we'll place another sewage tank over here, which of course I impulsively closed it again, but pretty sure this was higher. So I'm just going to do it right here. And that should cover everything we've got going on, plus any expansions we do, plus anything over in here too. So this should be good for a while anyway, as far as sewage goes. I'm going to do a medium pipe here because I feel like we're going to have higher density in this area than we were before. So I'm going to just get ahead of that by making a medium pipe through this part, and plus the hospitals here. And so this is going to go all the way over into that connector right there. Okay. Excellent. Now, you might think, well, hey, now if you need a medium pipe here, then surely this medium pipe all the way there is not enough. Well, the thing is, I don't think we're going to need 75 cubic meters of flow, but I think we will need more than 36.95, so 37 cubic meters. So if I get to the point where I need 40, 45, 50, then I'll need the medium pipe. But if it needs 50 and this other one is like maybe at 36 or so, okay, now maybe we're maxing out the medium pipe, but probably not likely. Indeed, I think what's going to happen here is that this will most likely not require the full capacity of the medium, but it will probably only require a portion. Okay, so there's that. It's done. I think sewage is all taken care of then, isn't it? Right? Didn't we have a one more small connector over here to do? Isn't there a sewage? Didn't I place sewage here, or was it just water? I placed the water substation here, not the sewage. I need to place the sewage here. All right, so sewage over on this side. Sewage over on this side. We are going to... This is all 20 meters. This is a piece of cake then. Never mind. We're going to say that this is going to get connected. We need all the available buildings to work here. So I think that pretty much covers all of them. Yep. So we'll place this maybe over like this. I think right here is good. This covers every building and sends it flowing the proper direction. All the requirements are met. Okay. That should cover this building. We'll see. Once it's built, we'll be able to see that. So the sewage in these buildings, I don't believe it's going to ever need more than a small pipe. So I'm going to do a small flow here. Yeah, we're adding industries here though, aren't we? We're going to add concrete here. Is that going to cover concrete though? No, I'm gonna need another one to cover concrete. I think we're good with a small pipe here. Small flow, and then the small flow is going to head to another switch. Probably important to have another switch in here. So let's put in, where is it? Right here. Switch. Put in a switch, and it just needs to be smaller or lower than the other one. So let's do like 14. This area-ish is fine. Might regret these placements later, but I think it's probably fine. We'll do a medium flow from here over to this port. Let's put it right here. Put it on this side. Yeah, that way we still have expandability to send things to the center later on. And then this one we can tap into from this side. If we end up extending a city on that side, though, I think if we end up extending a city on that side, I will want a big pipe here. So actually, let's just do it this way. All right. That takes care of that. So let's mark that. And then we'll have a small pipe that goes into that switch. So this sewage tank flows downhill to this one. And I'm going to set it on this side right there. This side right there. And is it there? Yeah, I'll leave 2 connectors because we're going to have another sewage connection here for any industry we do in this area, which is going to be concrete at the moment. And maybe some sawmill stuff will happen over there. And then the next one will be reserved in case we need to bring things from another town over here. Okay, so we'll mark that. That takes care of sewage, I believe, for everybody and everything that needs sewage. I believe that covers everything. So the last thing to cover is water. We don't need to worry about elevation with water. We're just going to take a look at where the substations currently are. So at the moment, I have a substation here, which covers all this area, and here, which covers all of this area. I believe I've also positioned one here. That's going to be for water needs as well. And then we have extra water connections. We have this water connection, and this is for industrial water. Now, in addition to needing drinking water in this area, they also need a direct line to... where's that? Right here. Okay. Just want to make sure that's covering it. It is, easily. Okay. They also need a direct line to water as well. So we're going to need to provide that. There's also a direct sewage output here too, which I missed. And so gladly, we have another switch here. I'm going to add another one. One more sewage switch because I forgot about the sewage connection on this. So we need to send sewage away here as well. So let's go in real quick, grab our pipes. So it's 10.5 here. That sucks. So we're going to have to bring it. Ooh. All right, we're going to bring it to another switch right behind this one. Gonna have to be another switch right behind this one. That's all right. We're just covering our ass for later. No big deal. So we'll have this, and then we just need a single pipe. Small sewage pipe is probably fine to come out of this end, come all the way over, and I'm going to have you come on in and drop in right here, hopefully. Like this. You know, I probably should go a little low. Does it let me do that, though? That's the thing. I want to go underneath this pipe. Will you let me dip low underneath this pipe? Like that. The problem here is that since I'm 4 meters down, I'm no longer going to be able to come back up to this side. So that's not going to work. It's not going to let me do that. So we're just going to have it be like that for now. That gives me a direct out for fabric. I believe the oil refinery needs it too. I don't remember, but I think they're going to need it too. We'll take a look at that later. But that gives me the direct out for that. For water, it's kind of the same theory. We're going to want switches and stuff to combine water flow and everything there too. But every switch, that doesn't provide pressure. Again, water requires pressure. Always requires pressure. So I think what I'm going to do here is we're going to send up a switch for the output of water for drinking water, which is going to go to that building, as well as all the other ones. And then we're going to have another sort of dedicated flow line that goes out for industry. And so I think probably what we'll do is let's put a switch. I'm trying to figure out where my water is going to be. I think I'm probably going to put water. Where's the well going to be, guys? I think the well, 94%, 95%, 91%. It'd be cool if people could just walk to the well so that they don't have to. I really want them to be able to just walk to this well. I think I'm going to go right here with it. That's going to give me at least the ability for some of these houses to to walk to this place. If nothing else, you could walk there from the bus stop, maybe even here. There's no pollution or anything with this, and it comes in at 95% water quality, which is as high as I can go here, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to say about like this, 94, 95, right there. 95%. So the water is sourced from here. I don't think that's very close to pollution here. I don't think that's super close. 529 meters. I believe that's probably fine. We obviously want to treat water, and all that's happening right here too. So the well is going to have two different outs. One is going to go to treatment. The other is going to go to industry. Okay. So from this well, we want to have a treatment plant, which again, people can walk to. And the treatment plant small should be sufficient. As we get bigger, we'll probably want another one, right? But the small one should be sufficient. And I think the big one maybe is overkill. If I'm going to do a big one, I'd want to do it over in this area so that more people could potentially work there and it can cover more ground with it. But what's the difference in cost here? Because I don't like decommissioning things necessarily if I can help it. So it's more than double the capacity, double the workers, less than double the power, less than double the chemicals. I mean, it's less than double the power easily, less than double the garbage. Well, it's the same amount of... It is double the garbage because it's double the workers. Yeah, all right. You know what? Let's put a big one in. Let's put a big one in. We'll kind of future-proof-ish this setup here. So we'll put it in over... I mean, I guess I could place it right here. That would really kind of solidify its position and where it's going to go. We could definitely put it like this. And then everybody, for sure, people would always be able to work at it then. I don't want the waters to come out that way, yeah. So how about we send... Okay, fine. Water treatment will be here. And it's off the main road. It's not interfering. I could put it around the intersection, but I'd rather not. I think I'd rather let that intersection be possible still. So right here then. Water treatment, okay? Obviously, we want gigantic pipes. The biggest pipes. The bestest and biggest of pipes. And we're going to send this to I think a water tower first to give us a little extra. The reservoir is okay. We could send it to a reservoir first, I guess. The reservoir first. No, after. We want the reservoir to be where people are. Yeah, I think we'll do the reservoir kind of in here. That's all right. Maybe out here. Comes over, pops into the reservoir here. Yeah, this is going to be better, I think. And then it goes both directions. Yes, but we're going to want switches and pumps and all that stuff too. So let's fit it right behind the statue. Right here. The deep water reservoir there. So we're going to need pumps. And we either have the small pump, which only has one in and one out, or we have the big pump, which has 3 ins and 3 outs. For this, I'm going to use the big pump. Takes more power, but it simplifies the process a lot. Because we don't need like a whole bunch of switches and different pumps for different switches and things like that, basically the pump acts as a switch, and I like this much better. So we're going to place a pumping station right next to this here. Make this a dirt. And then we're going to say that a big pipe from here to here. All right, and then we spread it out with little pipes throughout as we need it. So we'll say that the medium pipe to here. Yeah, I think a medium one here because we're going to have more housing this side. Although, yeah, we're going to have more housing this side. So we'll say medium pipe from here to here. And again, we don't need a pump because this is a pump. So it's not a switch, it's a pump. So we're using this. Then on this side, we're going to go with a small one over here on this one. There we go. Connecting there. So that's going to connect everybody to water. This water is coming from the treatment plant into the reservoir. So this treatment plant sends it into this reservoir here. And I probably, just to get more usage out of this building, probably should implement a small pump to switch. I hate the number of pumps you need in this game. Big water pumping station. We're just going to do this. Big water pumping station. Flip it around, and we're going to say from here to here. Let's put it on. I'm going to put it on this side. Right here. Okay. And then let's make sure that this is not a gravel footpath. It just needs to be a regular dirt one. I know we're still in the underground view, but that's what's needed to see where things are. So we're going to say that this goes out into this, which is a big pipe. Double check. Yes, big pipe to this. Okay. And then this goes big pipe from this one to here. All right, now I have expandability on this, and this can pump to other pumps, and this pumps to another pump, and this will pump to it. You see what I'm saying? You have to kind of tack on things if you want your water grid to be working and not have to break things down. Before, it was easy. You just demolish this pipe and redraw it. Now, not so much. So I'm trying to plan ahead, do a lot of planning so that I don't need to do a lot of teardowns, okay? Now, one of these lines is dedicated out this way for industry. And so what I'm hoping to do here is we're going to say that we probably want a big water pumping station somewhere over here. And this doesn't require workers, right? Just double checking. No, it's just power. So we're going to say that probably right about next to this, maybe right next to this. We'll put it here. This is a rail, not a road. Yeah. Okay. Now I kind of want it to be near a road, though. So how about we put it right here. And then we'll have this set up go like so. All right. Next, we want this big pipe, a big one, to come from the well, not from this, from the well, straight out there. And this is going to provide industrial water. So this big pipe's going to come all the way out here. I could maybe do this in a straight line if I cared enough. And maybe we actually do it from the backside so that I have all these connections for residential. I like that better. Let's come out and around. We're going to round. Actually, we'll drop it low. Just drop it a little low, and then it will wrap around. That way it can be out of the way later when we put more out. And then all the way to here. Yep. This big pipe is going to feed industrial water for basically all the industries that will end up being over here, including this building and these buildings. If we do chemicals or something, it'll feed all the water for industry from this single well right here. All right. Good. Last thing is we need drinking water over here, and the heating plant is done. So that's great. Heating plant's done, but it doesn't have a water connection or a sewage connection because I forgot about the sewage for this building, because that is what I do. I forgot the sewage for the building. How high up are we right now? This is one of the higher points, isn't it? Yeah, 16 something. So it should be fine. We're all right here. So let's say sewage tank would be. Do I want to position this to where it's in better shape for something else? We build something back here, probably. We also may build things here, though, so let's compromise. We'll put it right here. Stick this right here. That should cover anything we can throw at it. Okay, and then this pipe will be a small one, probably, almost certainly. Be a small one, and a small one will go to... let's put it on this. Whoops, not a big one. Ooh, that's a big pipe. No, that's a small one? It looked awful big to me. Oh, that looks big. Okay. I guess it's because I'm just zoomed out. We'll place it... I think it'll let me place it kind of wherever, so... Yeah, well, we'll go like this with it then. It's fine. That's fine. Okay, that provides that. And then we need the water hookup. And we can do the same thing with these two buildings. And And this will be located, I think, right over here like this. Yeah, we'll just put it here like this. Gives us some flexibility for later. All right. And then this pipe, we need to send this from over here. So we're looking at all of this. This is drinking water, but I probably should put in... Yeah, let's put in a pump and a switch and stuff. So we will use a switch for this. So water switch is going to be because of water on this drinking water over here, right? So water switch, you can place this, I think probably right over here next to this area. Okay. And then we'll place a medium pipe. Sorry, we're going to need a pump too. Small pumping station. Put the small pumping station over here nearby is fine. We can put this right here, let's say. Connect that to the road like so. And then let's put in a medium one just in case. We'll cover our butts and put a medium one in. Because it is going to a switch after all. So, you know, there's potential for more there, I guess. And so we treat the water, goes through the pump, does all this. After this, though, we're going to have this comes over the medium pipe all the way down here. And then it comes over to that pump. That pump pushes it to the switch. And then that switch will push it to another pump, which I can just create pressure right next to it. That's fine. Create the pressure right here. It's okay. Pushes it to another pump, which is going to be just a small one. And then this small pipe takes it to the substation. Okay. That's a lot of stuff that just happened. I know it doesn't seem like we're progressing very fast, but most of the time anyway that I've been running this video, time has been running. You guys started in February, early February. It's now August. So we've gone through almost a year. And you see, stuff just takes time to build, man. We don't have a balanced budget yet. Our supply of oil is getting drained down. It will recover in the winter time for sure. Maybe because it's going to recover so well in the winter, I should add one more truck to this route. I think I will add one more oil tanker here. Ooh, we have bigger ones now. Well, maybe not bigger ones, but faster. These things aren't even running full speed yet, right? Because it's not asphalt roads. So, but I'm gonna grab one more and put one more truck on this route, and then that's it. So, just trying to suck down the ideal condition here is that the oil is drained to like maybe half the capacity, and then in the winter time, because they're slower, it has a chance to recover. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for my video today, guys. Wow. Covering a lot of utilities, trying to get people in here. I think we're still 2 years out from really bringing people in. But that doesn't necessarily mean we have to be 2 videos out. I think we probably are. But I have most of what I want planned already. If you think I've missed anything, please let me know. Obviously, we do need to do incineration and the trash dump and all that stuff. All that stuff does need to be built. Yes, I haven't forgotten about it, but I wanted to get the other stuff in place before I started working on that. And honestly, I think the dump is probably going to be right next to the heater here. I think that's probably where I'm going to do. We're going to do a dump here, and then an incinerator will be next to the heater back over here. Probably. I don't know. As far as I'm aware, doesn't the incinerator give power too? Might have local power sources from that. I have no idea. Anyway, thank you guys. I really do appreciate all of you guys who hit the like button and subscribe. And those of you who are members on the right side of the screen there, you are my heroes. All right. Take care. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.